Welcome back. In today's lesson, I'm going to be showing you how to group objects together in PowerPoint. So let's start this class. First, we need to start from a blank slate. So let's clear the text boxes, go to layout, click on blank. Okay, so the second thing, to demonstrate how to group objects together, I'm going to draw a shape and also bring in text box, okay, to see how we can group them together. So while in the home tab or insert tab, locate your shapes and click on this guy more button. So then go to your rectangles, the second one, or you can see it as part of basically recently used shape. So let's select that, click on rounded rectangle there. Okay, that's good. So left click and drag. So okay, now I want to adjust the corner slightly, a little bit. Okay, so that's good. So now I want to change the shape fill, so click on shape fill. So I want to use this. Then the next thing I want to do, the shape outline. So go to shape outline. Let's increase the weight first to like 6 points. Then let me go back to shape outline. Okay, so let me play around to see the one that is cool. Okay, so let's say I want to use dark blue. Select dark blue. Okay, so I've done this. I can readjust if I like a little bit. Just left click on this white dot and drag it a little bit. Okay, so if you want to know how to actually draw with shape conveniently, there is a lesson on that. So I will attach it to this tutorial so that you can also watch that, so that you can be very confident to actually use the shape. You can draw shape, any shape accurately, either you're drawing it freehand or regular with regular shape, maybe all the side will be equal. There is a tutorial on that will help you out to do all this. Okay, the second thing we want to look at is, let's bring in a text box. So now because this shape is selected, so it's showing shape format here. If I click outside to deselect that shape, the shape format is no longer as part of the tabs. But if I click on the shape to select it, shape format will come back. Now from the shape format, we can also draw shapes from there. So these are shape right now. If you want to see all the shape, just click on this guy more and you see all the shapes. So we need the text box. This guy here is the text box, or you can see it here. Just click on it. Okay, good job. So left click now and drag. Left click now and drag. So that's all we need to do. Great. So let's type something in this. Let's type design. Okay, so after typing design, if you need to select the text box that is holding the text, you can press escape one time. Okay, so the text box is selected. Then we can change the color. Okay, so before we change the color, let's change the handwriting first. Change the handwriting, just click on this arrow, area black. Okay, you can use any other font of your choice. Then the next thing I want you to do now, hover your mouse on the text box. If it shows 4 arrows, left click on it and drag. We want to drag it into the shape that we have drawn. Okay, you can see that. Good. So let's increase the font size a bit. Okay, so increase the font size a bit like this. So now let's drag this again. Let's position the text box properly. So hover your mouse at the edge, left click and drag. Okay, that's good. Okay, so let me adjust this guy because of this empty space from here to here. Let me adjust this. So drag, left click here and drag it to this place. Okay, this is cool. You can adjust from here to left click and drag it slightly like this. Now I want this design to be at the middle of the text box. So if I want it to be at the middle, all I need to do is to use my alignment here. This left align is currently on left align. If I want it to be on center, I click on this guy. So that's the align center. Okay, so it's currently on center align. Now I need to change the color. So click on this arrow now, then select white color. You see that? That's amazing. Then let's add some little shadow to it. Text shadow, click on that. You can see a little shadow showing up. Okay, so we have actually designed our text box and even our rounded rectangle a little bit. So now the next thing we need to do is to actually select the two objects together so that we can group them. So to select the two objects is actually very easy. So you can see now the text box is on top of the rectangle, so we can select it like this. So to select it, all we need to do is to left click outside and drag around the two objects like this. So you can see a box showing up now, telling you that the two shapes is actually inside of the box. If that happens, if I let go of the left click, the two objects will be selected. But if I've done it this way, because the shape is not inside of this box that I've actually dragged out now, it's not actually inside, that means it's not going to select anything. But if I drag it like this, it means it has covered the shape, it has covered the text box and the shape. So if I let go of the left click, the two will be selected. That's amazing. Great, bravo. So to group these two objects together, all I need to do is to press Ctrl G. So let's press Ctrl G. Ctrl G. You have grouped it together. That's amazing. If you want to ungroup them, maybe you want to edit them, you can also do that. So if you want to ungroup, just press Ctrl Shift G. You have ungrouped them. Okay, that's amazing. Great. So let's do something. So let's group them together and duplicate what we have grouped together. So this time around, you can also right click. After you have select something together, you have select more than one you have select two objects or three objects together, you can right click on the edge like this. Just right click. If you right click on the edge, make sure it's the edge, you're going to see group here. Can you see group here? There is group here. Okay, so if you click on group, it will join them together as one group. So they are no longer two objects that are separate, they are joined together right now. Do you see that? That's amazing. Good job. Okay, so we can duplicate these grouped objects now. To duplicate it, we simply ensure that the group object is selected. Okay, let me deselect first. So to select the group object, just click on it one time, then press Ctrl D and you'll be able to duplicate it. That's amazing. Okay, so after duplicating it, it's showing 4 arrows now. You can left click on it and move it to another location like this. Okay, so we can decide to change what we have typed here. Just click inside. As it's showing this icon I, if it shows 4 arrows, don't click it. Move it, your mouse icon closer to the end. If it shows I like this, click there, then use your backspace to delete the text. Okay, so let's type animation. Okay, so you can see that it's actually more than what we need to type. Now press escape. So we need to reduce the font size of that. So use the decrease font size to decrease the font a little bit. You can see that. Great. So click outside now to deselect. So we can also duplicate again. Select what you want to duplicate. Press Ctrl D again. Then left click as it's showing 4 arrows like this. Left click on it and drag down. You can see that. Great. Now, you know, after grouping something, if you, while it's selected, while the group object is selected, if you go to shape fill or shape outline, now let's try the shape fill. Anything I do here in the shape fill is going to be applied to the rectangle and the text box. Okay, like this. You can see. Okay, so let me demonstrate it so you can see it. So light green. Okay, so I want to do something so you can fully get what I'm explaining. So let me click inside of the text box. Then move your mouse to the edge of the text box, not the grouped text box like this. If it's showing 4 arrow, left click on it and drag out slightly like this. Okay, so I want to demonstrate it to you. Okay, click outside now, then click on the group object back. Now go to shape fill. Okay, now if I hover my mouse on light blue, what do you notice? So it's applying, okay, let me click on light blue first. It's applying shape fill light blue to this rounded rectangle, and it's also doing the same thing to the text box. It's applying shape fill to the text box. You see that? Okay, so if that is not what you want to do, maybe it could be that you just want to apply that shape fill to only the rounded rectangle. If that is what you want to do, there's a way you can do it and get it accurately. Okay, so let me undo first. Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. Okay, click outside. So if you need to select the rounded rectangle first, click on the group object one time first, and secondly, if you need to select the rounded rectangle, since this our text box is almost covering the rounded rectangle, you have to move your mouse to the edge and click on the rounded rectangle now again, second time. So it's like you click first time on the grouped object, but the second time that you're now clicking it now is going to select one of the objects. So depending on where you click from, so since we're clicking from the edge, it's going to select the rectangle, the rounded rectangle. Okay, so we can decide to change the color of the rounded rectangle if we want. So just go to shape fill, can just hover a mouse on them to see what it looks like. You can see that. You can see if we want to change to this, we just click on it. I will change to that. We can also decide to change the shape outline if we want. You can see that. See. Okay, so if this is what we want to use, just click on it, and it has how to do it. That's amazing. Okay, let me also show you some other use cases of how to group objects together. Okay, so we're going to do this by creating a new slide on the slide pane. So just right click here, right click, you see new slide, click on new slide. Okay, that's amazing. This time around, we want to draw a big rectangle that covers from the left to right. So let's do that. Left click here to select the rectangle, and left click at the top left, click and drag. You're still holding down your left click, so like this. We are cool, good. So the next thing I want you to do now, let's remove the shape outline. Remove the shape outline. You see no outline, click on no outline. Okay, now let's change the shape fill. Click on shape fill. Okay, let's see the color that could be cool with what we want to do. Okay, let's try this out first. Light blue. Okay, that's amazing. So the second thing I want you to do, let's duplicate this shape now. Okay, let's duplicate it. Press Ctrl D. Okay, now let's reposition it properly. Left click on it, it shows 4 arrows like this. Left click on it and drag down. Okay, make sure you drag down so that there is a space in between the top one and the bottom one like this. Okay, great. Then hover your mouse on this white dot from the bottom, left click on it and drag up, drag up so that we have this little like this. Amazing. Okay, so let's go now. Now go back to your shape fill. Now you want to change the color. Okay, so let's see this. Okay, let's use this color, dark blue. That's amazing. You're doing a good job. Well done. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is to use the text box. Let's use text box. Click on text box. Okay, so you're going to left click and drag. So left click and drag. Great. So we're going to type PowerPoint design. So let's type that, PowerPoint design. Okay, so after typing, and you need to select the text box, you can press your escape one time. Then let's change the handwriting. Okay, so let's move this away a little bit. If it shows 4 arrow, left click on it and drag a little bit away so that we can see what we're doing. Click on the font now, select your font. So I want to select Arial Black. Okay, I want to change it to white. Go to font color, click on it, and let's increase the font a little bit. That's the font size. Increase the font size a little bit by using this icon. Okay, so the next thing we could do now, let's add a little shadow to it. So click on text shadow. So we create a little shadow to that text. You can see that. That's amazing. Amazing. Good. So hover your mouse at the edge of this PowerPoint design text box. Left click on it and drag. So we will use that, reposition the text to the middle. Okay, so when we get to the middle, now you can see a red dashed line showing up. So let's go. Okay, good, amazing. So now I want to show you another way to actually select 2 or more objects. You know, earlier I showed you how to select by using drag and marquee around objects to select, but this time around I'm going to use the selection method where you hold down the shift or control to do it. Okay, so this is the way to do this now. So we want to select these 2 guys, this rectangle and this text box together, and we group them together. Okay, good. So to do this, let's select the rectangle first. It could be, you can select any of them first. You can select the text box first or the rectangle. So after selecting the rectangle, hold down the shift key and then click on the text box. Okay, click on the text box. Now you can see the 2 is selected. Now you can see box around the 2. Now to group them together, you just press Ctrl G and you group everything together. Okay, now after you've grouped something together, do you also know that you can also group it together with another object entirely? Like for instance, we want this little guy rectangle here to be grouped together with this grouped object. We want them to now be grouped. Okay, so to do that, it's really easy. So select this guy, hold down shift and click on the grouped object. That's amazing. Great. Then press Ctrl G. Voila. Now we have grouped all the 3 objects together. That's great. So now click on your canvas now to deselect it. So if you want to know whether they're truly in group, so hover your mouse on the group like this, left click on it and drag it to another location. Can you see that? That's cool. Can you see? Can move it to the middle. That's cool. Okay, let's move it back up. So as it's grouped like this, we can copy it, we can duplicate it. Okay, so if we want to copy it and use it in another slide, all we need to do is to press Ctrl C. While the group object is selected like this, press Ctrl C to actually copy it. So it's in the computer's memory right now. Now let's create a new slide. Now right click here and click on new slide. So while on the new slide now, we can just press Ctrl V to paste it, or you can just come here to click here. Okay, let's press Ctrl V. Can you see? We have the same design. Now after you have this, now you can edit any of the object that is inside of this group. You don't want to ungroup them, so but if you want to ungroup, you just use Ctrl Shift G. But if you don't want to ungroup them, you just want to edit like single element in the group. Okay, so it's actually very easy. So the first one I want to show you, let me deselect first this light blue color rectangle. We want to change that color. So to change it, the first thing you need to do, select the grouped object first. That's first time. Then secondly, click on the shape or the object which you want to actually format. So let's click on the rectangle now. So the rectangle is selected, as you can see, like an extra box around it now. Now let's go to shape fill, click on shape fill. Okay, so as I'm hovering my mouse, you can see right now. So let's use this one. Okay, click on the orange. You can see right now. Okay, great. Now if I also want to edit this one, because this one is selected already, I can just single click on this one time. So click on this one time, this guy is selected, so I can go to this place. I can decide to change things too. Okay, you can see that I can just play around to see what will work best for what I am designing. Okay, so let me try to take things easy. So let me just select this blue gray. Okay, so that's amazing. So we've done a good job for ourselves. So another thing I want to show you, we could create a text box at this middle part, just to use it to type some few text. Okay, let me demonstrate that to you. Click on this guy. Okay, that's your text box. So left click and drag. Then you can also set your font size first, your font type first. Click on it. Okay, so let's look for Open Sans. I don't know if you might have that. In case if you don't have it, just choose any of the fonts you want. So I'm going to type it here into this box here, Open Sans. So as you can see, as I'm typing, it's showing up right now. So if that is what I want to use, just press enter to accept that. Then I want to increase the font size a bit. Okay, so just press increase font size. As you can see, this number is changing. I may try put it on 32 first. So while you have not typed anything, if you click outside, this text box will go away. So let me type something. PowerPoint design module for beginner. Okay, so you can see right now, so this is showing red line because it needs me to correct this. So all you need to do, if you need to correct a text like this, right click on it and then you're going to see options. So this is the right option, so click on this one. Okay, so you can see that it has corrected. Okay, so the next thing I want to show you is actually easy. So press escape first to select the text box, escape one time. Okay, while it's selected, I can come to this guy here. Okay, I don't need to bother about change case right now. So let me just increase the font size a little bit so that it flows to the next line. I just want it to flow to the next line. Okay, so let us may have something like this to display. Okay, so something like this is useful. So this position where we put PowerPoint design, you can actually put something like this. What is PowerPoint design? Or you can say, okay, what is PowerPoint? And then now write the definition in this place here. Okay, that's good. Okay, so quick one. Now we can animate this guy. We can animate this guy. We can even transition this slide. Okay, so first let's look at animate this one. So to animate this one, go to animation tab. Let's use fade. We just want it to come in. Then we have the duration is on 0.50. Let's make it 01.00. Okay, so it's on click right now. It means we have to press a button before this animation can actually play. Okay, the next thing, let's go to the transition tab. So we want this slide to move in with some effect. Okay, so let me use something that is really noticeable. Okay, let's try push. Okay, so you can see it's moving from slide 2 to slide 3. Okay, so let's see, let's preview what we have done so far. So to preview the current slide, that's slide 3 that you're working on, all you need to do is to press Shift F5. F5 is the function key. You can see right now the way it moved. Now, but the text that is at the middle is not showing up because we have the start is on click. So it means we need to press something before it can show up. So let's press that before it show up. You can see it shows up now. So during presentation, this can be very useful. Before you say things, you press it and you say it, press it, discuss about it. That could be so much wonderful thing to do. Okay, so but if you want some of the things to actually project on themselves automatically, so you use the other two options. The other two options, like if you go to the animation now, so while this guy is selected, when I click on it, it's selected like this. If I click on this guy here, we have with previous and after previous. These two guys are automatic. Okay, so if let me select after previous now, so you can see it means immediately when the transition is done, this animation will play automatically. So let's preview it. Now it's showing 0. Before it was 1, but now it's showing 0. It means immediately after the transition, this guy will show up. So let's press Shift F5. Now you can see that it shows up. Great, we've done an amazing job. Well done. So we are going to stop the class here. So if you really like and enjoy the class, don't forget to give us some like, don't forget to show us your comment, and share our videos with your friends and family. Thank you. See you in the next lesson.